Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Samantha. Today I'm going to be sharing a look with a brand new palette from Revolution, and this time the palette is the Revolution Reloaded palette, but it is the Basic Mattes palette. So I've shared with you all four of these just to give you a little bit of information before you purchase, but now I want to test this one out and I'm really looking forward to this. So I'm not going to use any shimmery shades at all. I'm going to be just using this palette and I'm really excited about just doing a whole matte look. So first of all, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of information. So you can purchase this palette from revolutionbeauty.com. It is just £4, which is a phenomenal value because it has 15 matte shades, which is amazing. Love that value. Now on to the actual swatches. So I've got all of them swatched already for you. So this is the first row. So you've got that beautiful cream shade, which we all need a cream shade. It's not going to show up that well, but you can just see it there. We then move on to another light shade, that one there, but it's more of a caramel light shade. We then have a pink light tone, so you've got cream, you've got caramel, and then you've got pink there. So there's all of your bases covered there. Then we move on to a medium tone or light to medium tone there, another one there. So those two there are slightly, well, they are similar, but this one is more brown tone than this one. This one's got a little bit more orange tone to it. So that's your first row. Then moving on to the second row. So the first shade is a neutral, but it has a little bit of pink to it, a tiny little bit of pink. We then have a much more caramel tone, very similar to this one, but a lot deeper. We then have a cool toned, like a pinky mauve shade, or pinky purpley mauve tone there. Then we have like one of those greige tones there, and a deeper greige brown. So this one is like a grey light brown. This one is a grey toned deep brown. So that's your medium row, your second row, and then we move on to the last row. So we have got one of my favourite shades from the palette. It is a neutral tone with a little bit of red to it, so that's a red brown. We then have very similar, but it's more of a lighter tone there. We then have another tone there that is, I would say, very similar to that one, but a little bit deeper. So that one was the pinky purpley grey tone or mauve tone, and this one is definitely deeper. And then we have another tone very similar to this one, but a little bit more brown. And then the very last shade is that black shade there. So there is your third and last row. So that's your third row, your second row, and then your first row there. Okay, so now on to the look. I'm of course going to be starting off with my favourite brush, which is the Primark eye contour brush. If you haven't got this brush, then or you can't get hold of it, you can use any one of your favourite brushes. So now to start the look. Also, I just wanted to mention my lip colours. So the first shade that I applied was from Revolution. It's one of their Nudes collection, and it's in the shade Pixelated, which is this one here. So that is the liquid lipstick that I put all over the lip. Absolutely love this shade. It is just stunning, and I'll just swatch it for you. These smell beautiful as well. So there's the first shade that I applied. And then in the middle, I just wanted a little bit, because this is going to be a matte eye look, I wanted something a little bit shimmery. So I'm using the Jelly Jungle Lip Gloss in 01, which is this. Very iridescent, got some sparkle to it, and it plays off the light. You've got all sorts of shades in there. And I just pop that in the centre of my lip. and then just patted that in just to give me a little bit of sparkle. It is just stunning. So I hope you can see the reflex coming off that, or the different tones. Okay, so those are the lip shades that I am wearing today. So what shall I do with my eye look? I'm not quite sure. And also what I will say is that I didn't do a dupe video with this because there wasn't one that really, another, you know, an expensive palette that really jumped out at me regards this palette. And I thought I'm just going to do a try on and, you know, show you around the palette and show you how it actually applies and performs. So I think I'm going to, let me just look at the first. I think I'm going to go in with this shade at the end. So that one there. See how that one applies. So I'm just going to put that in the crease and above. Now I just also want to mention that any of the eye looks that I share with you on my channel, it's especially with new palettes, it is giving you an indication of how they perform. I generally try and put on as many shades as I can, so it's not really, you know, an eye look perhaps that you may want to follow. It is, I mean, you know, great if it is and you love it, that's fine, but most of these, especially the testing a new palette, it is mostly about sharing with you how they perform and how they blend together and really work together. I mean, I would love the idea that yes, you want to, you know, copy my eye look, and I have had a few of you saying that, and I really do love that. But, you know, a lot of these videos, it is just seeing how these shadows perform on the eye for you. So I'm just doing that again on the other eye. Just building that up until I've got the intensity that I want. That is a really nice base shade for me. Love that. Okay, now I want to go in with a second shade. So as always, I'm going to try and use as many colours as I can. But obviously I want to create a nice eye look that I'm happy with, you know, going out with. And also another thing that I want to mention is that the eye looks that I create, it is, you know, my personal taste. It's how I like to apply makeup. If you don't like the eye look that I'm creating, then obviously you can change that look to suit you, because my eyes, my eye shape and my eye colour, my colouring as a whole is not going to perhaps suit some people. So I'm not saying, you know, this is you know, what you have to create, this is what you have to put on. Like I just mentioned, this is a testing video to see how these eyeshadows work, how they perform, how they layer, how they blend, and this is an eye look that suits me. It may not suit you, but obviously, you know, you can do your eyeshadow how you prefer. This is how I like to do my eyeshadow. So now I'm going to go in with this shade here. Really like the look of this one there. So just going in with that. So that's on the second row and the second one in. See how this one. And also someone mentioned that I don't necessarily tap the product off. Sometimes I do. It just depends on, you know, sometimes I might do it on my finger, which is quite silent perhaps. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends really. like that colour. Yeah, that's gone on very, very nicely. Blended well with the first shade. In fact, actually that shade has enhanced that. The second shade has enhanced the first one very, very nicely. Love that. Now I want to get a little bit deeper, and I'm going to go in with this one here. So it's the bottom row and the second one in. That is also a very, very nice shade. Like that. A little bit more, just to match up with the other eye. But not only that, I have to do certain techniques with my eyes, because if I don't, then it actually shows or makes my eyes look even more hooded. So this technique, you know, makes me feel confident about my eye shape. Lovely. I really, really like that. And also what I like about these shadows from Revolution is that you can build them up. I always start off with a little bit, you know, and keep building until I'm happy with the intensity. But I really, really like that. I like that you can build it up. I like the fact that these really do work beautifully together. So now what I'm going to do is go in with a little bit of a deeper colour, and I'm going in with this shade here. So that's on the bottom row and the first tone. So again, these have a little bit of kick up, but nothing too, you know, major. But yeah, really, really like this. So I'm just going to put that on the first half. What I don't want to do is take it all the way in and cover the whole eye look, or eyelid, because what I don't want to do is cover the whole lid, because I don't have a shimmer to go over the top. So I want to keep a little bit of lid blank for one of the other shades I'm going to go in with. I absolutely love the shades in this palette. I think sometimes you can look at a matte palette and think, you know, am I going to use all of those mattes? But actually I really, really am glad that I picked this up. So pretty, and I really love that shade. that last one. It's worked so well. Okay, now before I put that last shade on, I think I'm going to go and do the underneath. So I'm going in with that, I think, what shade shall I go in with? I think I will go in with this one. So that one there, first of all, see how that one looks underneath the eye. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Oh wow, love that. Absolutely love that shade. Oh. Now again, I always put a colour underneath my eye. If you don't particularly like a smoky eye, then obviously miss this step out. It is just what works for my eye, and I don't feel that the eye look is complete until I have this on. But so far, and I'm really loving the look that I've created as well. It is stunning, beautiful. Okay, so now, oops, a little bit of dry foundation there. Okay, now what I want to do is pop a shade onto the lid. So I think what I'm going to do is go in with a very light pink toned shade, which is this one. So it's the top row right in the middle there, and I'm going to this time use a brush, and I'm going in with a different brush this time because that one is a little bit, it's got all the deep shades on. So I'm going in with one of my next shadows. It's one of the flat fluffy and flat fluffy brushes, and I'm just getting a little bit of that shade, and I'm just tapping it off as well so that I don't have too, I don't want it to mess up anything that I've done so far. Now onto the other eye. So just keeping that to the lid like that. Now I want to go in with the first brush again, and I'm going into that last shade, this one here. I'm just going over that outer third like that. Just to gel that all together. Now what I'm going to do, can I do it with this brush? I'm going to see if I can. I'm going into that very last, well, the light shade, that one there, and I'm just going to see if I can highlight the inner corner using that shade. Like that. So for example, if you went on holiday and you accidentally took just this palette and you forgot any shimmers whatsoever, I think that inner corner has worked really, really well actually to brighten that inner corner. And I think sometimes a matte inner corner works really, really well. And it certainly worked well with this eye look. Of course, I'm now going to go in with my holy grail of eyeliners, which is the, I know you said Primark then, the Revolution HD Smoky eyeliner. So that's the liner on. I haven't taken it all the way in, and I usually stop there. So because I don't want too much depth right in the inner corner, because obviously I've put, you know, eyeshadow to lighten that area. Now we're going in with a Primark product, which is the PS Amplif-eyed mascara, which I still haven't got a replacement for. So there's the mascara on, and I'll just come forward so you can see. So that's my look using the new Revolution Reloaded Basic Matte palette, which I said in my previous video, there is nothing basic about this palette at all, apart from the fact that it is, well, it could be one of your eyeshadow palettes that gives you that base, and I think that this is a beautiful look. I think the shades in here are stunning, and like I said at the beginning, sometimes you look at these matte palettes and think, not really sure, I'm so used to shimmer, that's what I want, but actually it's created a beautiful eye look that I am in love with. So as always, I'll take a close-up picture for you, just pop that onto my Instagram. All details for my Instagram will be down below. I would love your feedback on the palette, on my eye look. What do you think about a full matte eye? Now, just as I was saying in the video, if you have a different eye shape to me, if there is a certain look that works for you, that you feel that perhaps this one may not you know, work for you, then of course do your regular eye look. And I would love to know, if you have this palette, are you going to perhaps do this eye look that I've created today and adapt it to your eye shape, your eye colour? I would love that. And obviously my Instagram, you can DM me a picture of your eye looks as well. I'd love to see your creations. So yeah, love that, love your feedback, and of course if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. But as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.